Yeah, I want to start with the season, especially the second half of the season. Just pretty amazing what these kids were able to do and able to accomplish. We're playing our best basketball, obviously, of the year right now. Getting a lot of contributions from different guys. Josh Reeves was as good as I've ever seen him play yesterday, and hopefully he will continue that. Lamar was an absolute warrior, and he has been all season long. Over the last 10 games, I mean, to be, what are we, 7-3 in the last 10?
Yes.
And we're 4-1 in the last 5, with a chance to win that Wisconsin game multiple times. So I like where we are. I like where our leadership is. We still have a lot of work. I thought we had some careless turnovers. We gave up some offensive rebounds, again, which is encouraging, which excites me. We can get a lot better. There's still room for growth. There's a lot of lessons to be learned here, and that's going to be the focus today. You know, they're going to get healthy with Saz. We're going to take them in the phone room. We're going to talk to them about where we are and where we need to go.
Some of the runs that you've had in the Big Ten tournament has been these sort of, everyone, to steal a phrase from James, pulling the rope in the same direction kind of thing. How do you get guys into the postseason and sort of get on that extra level, that extra sort of all being in the same direction?
Yeah, I actually think we're all pulling in the same direction right now. But I think it's going to be, we need a little bit more. We got to dig a little bit deeper. When you're in tournament play, it's a whole nother level. And then again, the Big Ten was as hard as it's ever been in my 8 years here. I mean, every game was an absolute rock fight. And I expect that on Thursday with Minnesota. It was a rock fight at their place. It's going to be a rock fight Thursday night. They got a couple seniors who want to keep playing. So we just need a little bit more. I think we continue to pull in the right direction, same direction. We continue to get better, and then we got to dig a little deeper.
Excuse me. And from the Josh perspective, a guy that's really been sort of the heart and soul sort of guy for the past few years for you, we've talked a lot about the various talent that you've lost to graduation or Tony going, but to replace a guy like Josh is sometimes harder than placing a guy that's just a very, very good basketball player. Do you have a sense of, when it comes to that kind of heart, where you lean next in a post-Josh world and realize he's still playing?
Yeah, it's a good question, and that's the 30,000-foot lens that you're talking about, and we always have to be prepared for that. What Josh has meant to this program, what he has done for this program, has just been pretty amazing. Opening the door, recruiting-wise, 1,000-point scorer, 500, 300. I mean, just unbelievable what he does yesterday on senior day. I mean, he's a special talent, and it's not going to be one person. It's got to be multiple people. I said that about Tony. The good news for us is we were prepared for Josh's departure. I think Jamari Wheeler will fill that role really well. He's right there with Josh and steals in the Big Ten, and I don't see that going away anytime soon. His leadership's been fantastic. And I would say Isaiah Brockington. I don't think he's going to be as defense specialist like Josh, but I think he has the capability to defend like Josh and to be athletic like Josh and to block shots like Josh. But again, it's really hard to replace anybody. And somebody said it yesterday, he's a 4-year starter, right? He's been starting since he stepped on campus. So that's really difficult to replace all those experiences that Josh has.
What's your message to the guys going into the tournament? Do you view it as one single game, or do you say, listen, we still have some things we
Mark,
can do?
I knew you would do this for me.
There you go. And
You
have your notes
absolutely
ready.
teed me up, Mark. This is all we're worried about right here. Let me get that on camera. How's that look? I look okay? Anybody else? All right, good. Nate, here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we're worried about.
CT, that's Central Time.
Really, we're worried about, thank you, we're really just worried about us and what we can control and what we do. And then we'll focus on Minnesota as the week progresses here. But I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking down the line. I'm not doing any of that. Just keep getting better. We're a hot team right now. We're one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten. We got to keep that going.
And what about from a coaching staff perspective? When you know who you might face that next game, do you still have somebody?
Absolutely. So what we normally do is Keith Urgo has the scout for this game, and then Jimmy or Kevin will have the scout for Purdue. We make sure we divvy that up, and then Michigan, and then so forth after that. So we'll have that all worked out amongst the staff. But the players don't need to worry about that.
And then you talked yesterday about the value of not playing on the first day. What is your schedule from now until Thursday typically?
So today's an academic day, today's a recovery day, today's a meeting day. Tomorrow, get to school, get to your classes, and we'll go about 45 to 60 minutes. We'll go live about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll get shots up, we'll work on our habits, work on some execution, some 5-0. And then Wednesday, we're leaving early, and we'll have a good, hard Penn State practice to keep the edge, to keep the chip. We can't stop now on the formula that we've created over the last 4 to 6 weeks. We got to keep it going, and it seems to be working for us. And then we're going to fly out early, get out there early, and really focus on us. Watch film, watch their scout edit. Try to get a shoot around in somewhere, and then prepare for or walk through somewhere, and then get ready to play Thursday night.
When you look at the last 10 games, or maybe the progression through the Big Ten schedule as a whole, what do you ascribe some of the improvements in numbers to? Meaning, did your defense create that offense, in those offensive improvements, or have you guys actually developed offensively, do you feel like?
I'm going to say a little bit of both. I think it first starts on the defensive end. I think Jamari Wheeler has been fantastic, along with Josh Reeves. Obviously, that's the given. But I think Jamari's leadership, and he really stepped up when we needed him to. And then I found a good 5 to start with. Every now and then I put Mike in there. We gauge that. But then a good rotation off the bench. And I think we all became all-stars in our roles, those guys. And then we started to make some shots. And the 3-ball started to land for us a little bit. I think it's really started in Michigan. Miles Dredd hit a bunch of threes there. He hit some threes against Maryland. Lamar started hitting some threes. So we had 3 or 4 guys, 35 to 40%. And I think we were a lot lower than that in December. But we were getting better. We just didn't see the results, right, win-loss wise. But at first, I think it started with our defense, and once we got stops and we got runouts, we showed how fast we are. I think we're one of the fastest teams in this league right now. So our speed is really coming through. And then that opens up for open threes. And getting ourselves to the free throw line has helped too. We're, I think in the last 10 or last 5 at least, we're right around 17 or 18 makes per game. So if you're getting to the free throw line and now you're making 6.5 threes a game, it's a nice formula.
And then when you look at those threes, do you credit that to just feeling better about themselves or better looks? Is it a confidence thing versus?
It could be a confidence thing. I think our guys were always confident. Miles was, I think, 0 for 5, and I looked at him and said, shoot the next one. You're going to make it. And guess what he did? He did. So I think he ended up 1 for 7, but he made the one that I told him to make, so that was a good thing. And I said the same thing to Rozier. He wasn't shooting the ball particularly well, and he made one. And they looked at me and I said, keep shooting. And it's almost like they don't want to shoot after they miss 3 or maybe 4. But the beauty of playing for me is I want to give you the confidence. You need to know I have confidence in the next shot that you're going to make it. And I think that helps us out. I think, again, Lamar playing at a high level. I think Josh has been more consistent. I think we're getting a better Mike, better. Not totally back, but better. I think that's all really helped us.
You just talked about Mike briefly there, and John as well in this case. Minnesota's a really good rebounding team. What do you need from your interior play?
Yeah, we got to do a better job on Murphy. I can tell you that. He dominated the second half. He dominated the offensive glass, big-time putbacks. So we got to get in the bodies. We got to do a good job, and we are. In the last 10 games, we're doing a really good job. We're winning the glass. We're about even on the assist to turnover. We're up in blocks. We're even on steals. So we got to do a good job rebounding the ball, keeping Murphy off balance. But Coffey's playing terrific too. So I don't want to just focus on Murphy and their bigs. They're a good team. They're an NCAA tournament team for a reason, because Richard has done a good job. But we definitely got to win the rebounding battle if we're going to turn this into a win.
You told the story about Davis yesterday, saying that he couldn't play or couldn't start yesterday. But beyond,
Didn't want to start.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He
Yeah.
could, but he didn't want to. Yeah.
But beyond that, this is a guy who started some games last year and played an on-court role for a team that won the NIT, and then hasn't had that same role this year. So how has he been in that off-the-court role, helping his teammates, things like that?
I said on the video up top, he's been unbelievable. He comes in every day, works hard, incredible attitude. The hardest thing to do today, specifically today with social media and all the distractions on the outside, is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. if we're going to put a number to it. But the guys that are not playing a lot, they have to be upbeat, they have to be positive, they have to keep a great attitude. And you know what? They have to come in and work. They have to push the first team or the first or the top 7 guys to get better. And I really attribute some of our wins recently to our second team. Brockington and DK and Davis, even Mike when he's over there, Johnny when he's over there, MJ. MJ's been unbelievable playing, the best player on the other team, just incredible. Kyle McCluskey, unbelievable. Those guys have pushed the blue team, and that's what Davis done. That's Davis's leadership. That's Davis's in huddle of pushing guys and wanting them to be great. When he said that to me, I couldn't believe it. I welled up just because that just shows you his true character and what's important his teammates are. This program is.
Can you talk about the level of consistency Lamar has achieved? It's almost like we don't even ask about him
Yeah,
anymore.
he's like an
because
afterthought.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, he's been a warrior, absolutely rock solid. Where I think he's really improved, and I said this, but I want to mention it again, is his leadership. It's been amazing. Things that he's doing with the younger guys, talking to them, working them through some difficulties, helping Mike. Mike was struggling in the first half. He's the one who talked to Mike at halftime to get him going, to get him focused on the task at hand. And Mike comes in, rebounds the ball better, makes a couple go-tos, plays better defense. So nobody really sees that, and that's not going to show up in the box score because everybody anticipates Lamar's just going to get his 18, and he's going to get his 8 rebounds, and he's going to block a couple shots, and he's going to get to the free throw line, and he's going to have a monster dunk that's going to end up on the highlights. But he's meant so much more to us, especially over the last 10 or 11 games. His maturity and growth has been unbelievable. I look forward to these teams coming out today because I think he deserves first team.
I was going to ask you that. Why do you think he deserves first team?
Because of the value that he brings to this program, if that's what we're looking at. If you're looking at talent, he absolutely deserves to be on the first team. But if you're looking at value, take him off this team, we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. And what he's meant to this team and what he's done for this team, I mean, he's filled the stat sheet. If he was just getting 19 and 5 rebounds, all right, I get it. But that's not what he's doing. He's doing a lot more than that. He's scoring, he's getting to the free throw line, he's rebounding the ball, he's setting up his teammates when he gets doubled. He's defending at a higher level. I mean, he's defending 1 through 5 in certain defensive schemes that I throw out there. Really impressive what this kid has done. And oh, by the way, we got a bye. We don't get a bye without Lamar Stevens. He deserves it.
You finished the regular season 7-3. You're 39th in Ken Palm.
Give me some more of those stats. I love hearing those stats, Ben. Come on. We're 49 in the net. Come on, Ben. Come on. What are we in the sack? I got that too.
You're not going to show him the notes?
No. You want to see the notes?
But I guess the thing is, you're playing really good basketball. You're ending, the last 2 months of the year really well, but you're under 500. It doesn't start well. Do you just cut the front half of the year off and say we're going to forget about this? Because when you look at sort of the linear, ongoing development of these guys, all things being equal, if they're all back next year, you're going to assume they're not going to start at square one again. You're going to pick up something approximating where you left off. Does it give you an ability to kind of just, I mean, how do you digest a year where the second half you're playing what you want to do, but the first half, you had to get to this point?
Yeah. And hopefully that's what good coaches and good staffs and great leadership, hopefully that's what you do. I've always said this, you guys hate when I say it, but we have to be the best team we can be by the end of the year. And I think we've consistently done that over my 8 years. And we're doing that. And it took us a little while to get there. We were really counting on younger guys, which I was hoping we didn't have to in the beginning of the year with one of the hardest non-conference schedules that Penn State has ever played. Are we still 2?
Yes.
Are we still 2? So as far as strength of schedule overall, I think we're number 1 in conference strength of schedule. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we put these guys in the fire early and often. And maybe we didn't find the success we wanted to. Maybe the record doesn't reflect what we wanted to. But we've gotten better. And it's toughened this up. And, situations like Wisconsin, we put ourselves to win that. We put ourselves in position to win that game. We had 3 or 4, maybe 5 chances to win that game. Free throws, a floater, a great bank shot, and then we had, unfortunately, 2 turnovers. One I can debate was a turnover, but one was a turnover. And then Rutgers, you played great in one of the most hostile environments I've ever seen, next to Purdue. It was crazy, and you go out and win that game. So all those failures, all those setbacks set us up for this. So we got to continue the process, and we're adding Isaiah Brockington, and we're adding a top 35 or top 40 class, whatever it is now. It's going to change at the end of the year to this really good team already. So it's exciting, and I agree. I don't think we start at square one next year. We are going to have a hard non-conference again, though. It's already pretty much set up that it's going to be a difficult non-conference, maybe just as difficult, or maybe just a hair below what it was this year.
Relative to itself, that the season is more of a success than the record? Or do you still, at the end of the day, look at that and go, it's not where you want it to be?
You know, I think this year was a success, and there's a lot more games to go, as you know, Ben. And I still think we're fighting for postseason. And we're going to take it one game at a time, but I'm very optimistic about playing next week somewhere.
Coach, you kind of just talked about Lamar's value to the program. You see him every day, him and Josh specifically. What have they done as leaders as a very young team? Like, are they vocal? Do they lead by example? Are they, in the huddle? In practice?
Lamar's more of the vocal one. Josh is more by actions. But you can't lead if you don't show up every day. I always tell them leadership never takes a day off. I can't go into practice and have my head down and bad body language and be quiet. That's not who I am. Right? I have to be who I am. I have to show up every single day. No matter if you're 0-5, 0-10, or whatever your record is, you still got to come in and get guys better and compete and show them the way. And I believe that's what really helped us. My confidence in them, the belief in them, and then Lamar and Josh and John and Jamar just took it from there, and they led those practices. But Lamar, absolutely vocal. No problem if he needs to get on a guy in a loving, caring way. Josh really just shows up every single day. If he's not top 3 in attitude, there's something's wrong. I gave him a day off. That's probably what it is. He's usually top 3 in everything. The guy loves to play the game of basketball, and he shows these younger guys how to do it. And he's got phenomenal relationships with the freshman class. You saw the way they mauled him and were chest bumping him and all that good stuff. It's just so great to see a senior pass down the torch, or beginning to pass down the torch to the younger guys.
Since you know all the numbers,
Some of them.
you know most of the numbers.
Some.
Right.
It's Ross. Ross has always put them in my head. Go
Of
ahead.
course. Since you know where you're at, assuming that you avoid dwelling on some of the near misses that you had, how do you avoid that? How do you go about end of Purdue, for instance, and Minnesota, for instance, some of those games that were right there? How do you not dwell on them, given your situation where you are right now?
I focused on how to improve, and I focused on identity, and I focused on learning from those experiences. And I don't think you can win Rutgers if you didn't go through those experiences. Again, you take those and you say, okay, as a coach, what could I have done differently? And you work on that, okay? And you work on that in practice. And you make sure you instill belief and confidence in them that, hey, this is what we need to do moving forward if we're in these situations again. So there's learning, there's growth. And as long as they have the right mindset, that none of this happens, fellas, without the right mindset by the players. It's really, because there's people, there's social media. I'm going to say it again. There's so many distractions. I look at the NBA, I'm like, I don't know how they deal with that type of circus. It's crazy. And now it's coming down to this level, and our team has done such a great job of cocooning themselves and just kind of that foxhole mentality in the locker room by keeping everything out and keeping the mindset of keep getting better and growing. Pretty amazing what they did this year.
Pat, you already mentioned that you think Lamar should be first team, and I think we can all agree Josh should be probably Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. Is that something that those guys strive for, or is it more of a byproduct of them doing what they need to do?
I think we all have individual goals. When we sit down in the beginning of the year, we have individual goals for each member of the team. And if I look back, I think Lamar's are right around there. But it's ultimately what the team needs. And the team needs Lamar Stevens to be first team All Big Ten to be successful. So hopefully he gets that nod. The team needs Josh Reeves to be Defensive Player of the Year to be successful. And I'm hopeful that happens because, again, we're 7-13 in the Big Ten, but I think we've showed incredible improvement in the last 10.
You talk so much about Josh's contributions off the court. I'm curious, do you think he might have a future in coaching? And if not him, who do you think would be a good coach?
I bring this stuff all the time up to him. Hey, you ever want to coach? Hey, no way. No way, I can't coach him. I can't coach him. No way I'm going to be a coach. It's hilarious, hilarious. I think Josh Reeves could be a great coach. Shep Garner was around this weekend. He could be a fantastic coach. Taylor Battle could be a fantastic coach. I think Lamar could do it. I think he could do it. Take him a little while, but I think he could handle it. I think the younger guys all have it. Miles Dredd, Rozier, MJ, DK, I think all those guys have the capability if they wanted to coach. They would be fantastic. Jamari Wheeler would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He got great energy. He got great attitude. He's got the heart for it. He's got the guts for it. He's got that determination. So there's a few guys on this team that I think could dip their toe in the water a little bit. But I'd probably say Jamari would be the guy I would say could be the best head coach.
All right, going into the Big Ten tournament, do you value more as far as a message to your team, a fresh start, or maybe carrying in the momentum, and how are those things exclusive and why not?
The message is not changing for me, and I always say this to them, nothing changes. Keep improving, keep shaping our identity. As long as we continue to do that and develop the best habits we can, we'll continue to find success. But when we start focusing on outcomes, and what if we lose, or playing to lose, or if we lose this game, the season's over, anything like that, then guess what? You're going to lose. So we're gonna focus on attitude points. We're going to focus on improving and getting better. And when we do that, playing Penn State basketball really is what I'm talking about. If we do that, good things happen.